Good evening. Welcome to another Black History Moment. We are still in Women's History Month, reading from Extraordinary African Americans. Lucy Terry Prince, poet, 1733 to 1821. The Bars Fight. August 'twas the 25th, 1746. The Indians did in ambush lay some very valiant men to slay. 'Twas night unto Sam Dickens' mill, the Indians there 5 men did kill, the names of whom I'll not leave out. Samuel Allen, like a hero fought, and thought he was so brave and bold, his face no more shall we behold. Eleazar Hawks was killed outright, before he had time to fight. Before he did, the Indians see, was shot and killed immediately. Oliver Amsden he was slain, which caused his friends much grief and pain. Simeon Amsden they found dead, not many rods off from his head. Adonijah Gillett, we do hear, did lose his life which was so dear. John Sadler fled across the water, and so escaped the dreadful slaughter. Eunice Allen see the Indians coming, and hoped to save herself by running, and had not her petticoats stopped her, the awful creatures had not caught her. And Tommy hawked her on the head, and left her on the ground for dead. Young Samuel Allen, oh lack a day, was taken and carried to Canada. This poem describes a Native American attack on Deerfield, Massachusetts, a small settlement on the western border of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Written by Lucy Terry, a 16-year-old slave girl. The poem is considered to be the best description of the account on record. The attack occurred in 1746. Not long before the French and Indian War, 1754 to 1763. Although Terry's poem describing the massacre was not published until 1855, it was a favorite in colonial New England. It was read often at town meetings and on various social occasions. The events Terry describes in her poem are not too far from some of those in her own life. She was kidnapped from her home in Africa when she was only 5 and sold to a family in Deerfield, where she grew up. There she met and married Abijah Prince, an ex-slave who had gained his freedom after serving in the French and Indian War. His name is Abijah Prince. Shortly after they were married, Abijah Prince purchased Lucy's freedom in 1756, and the two of them moved to a farm in Guilford, Vermont. Eventually, they had 6 children, 2 of whom fought in the Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783. Abijah Prince also became one of the 55 original founders of the town of Sunderland in Vermont. 2 years after the Revolution, a wealthy neighbor tried to force the Princes off their land. Abijah was then almost 80 years old, so Lucy, 25 years younger than her husband, rode across Vermont to seek the aid of the governor's council. Fortunately, the council sided with the Princes and ordered the neighbor to leave them alone. In 1794, Abijah died. For the next 18 years, Lucy rode horseback over the mountains to visit his grave. When yet another neighbor tried to claim her property, she fought back, this time taking her case all the way to the Vermont Supreme Court. After ruling in her favor, the judge told her that she had made one of the most convincing arguments he had ever heard. Lucy Terry Prince, America's first poet of African descent, died in 1821 at the age of 88. The remarkable 16-year-old girl who had written The Bars Fight turned out to be a courageous fighter herself. Thank you for listening to this Black History Moment.